A jigsaw puzzle manufacturer typically uses the same cutting pattern for lots of different puzzles. So if you buy two puzzles of the same size from the same manufacturer with two different pictures, you can mix and match and still make a puzzle. And there's an art professor called Mel Andringa who uses this to make extraordinary puzzle montages. Look at this picture.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that great?
I'd frame it on my wall.
I think it's fantastic. And the jigsaw puzzle was invented before the jigsaw, which brings us to the puzzling matter of the scores. In last place, my goodness, it's very good. And with minus 42, it's Alan. Next with minus 14, it's Joe. Climbing up to third place with minus 13, Bridget. Second place with minus 12 is James. And this week's winner with minus 9, it's the audience. Thanks to our guests, James, Joe, Bridget and Alan. I leave you with this quality quotation from the American columnist and author Alice Carr. For a list of all the ways technology has failed to improve the quality of life, please press 3. Goodbye. Which is quite appropriate, as I have 4 guests, or, 5 if I include myself. On the one hand, here's Aisling Bea. No 2 ways about it, it's David Mitchell. 3 cheers for Nish Kumar. And at 6s and 7s, Alan Davis. Their buzzers for Aisling goes
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
David goes 5, 5, 5. Oh, I was trying to get into that. I didn't know someone singing 5. Okay. Nish goes
5 bad boys with a pound to rock you.
Yes. And Alan goes Question 1 is about quadrupeds. Name a quadruped that can't swim.
My mum? Is she off on an all four?
Alan Davies. Maybe come away from any thoughts about Nish's mother being on all fours. I would appreciate it. So, quadrupeds.
Now, Sandy, I feel like this relies on everybody knowing what that word means. So, quad, head, hello.
Feet. So, what
4 feet.
4 feet. You totally knew it. And
Your mother has 4 feet.
I am 4 feet.
You swim. Is that the answer?
So we're more in the animal world, people. We're not in the Kumar household at all.
They all float, don't they? Well, when they're dead,
Yes.
they float to the surface eventually when all the stomach juices start to decompose. Yeah, they'll bob up then. But is that really swimming?
It's good to have you back, David. Cheerful Mitchell.
They float because of the air in their lungs. It's only when the lungs fill with water. So unless you can't breathe.
You're right. What do I
No.
well,
Inbuilt snorkel.
Without exception, they struggled excitedly and quickly sank.
Oh my god.
I know. That's why you have moats and the eggs, because they don't have to. Now, what about camels?
What are the humps going to do? Are they going to be buoyant? Probably.
Camels are the descendants of giraffes who learn to swim because their lungs went up their back and their head started to go like this. They bring me on here for the big thoughts.
Really want the next series of Blue Planet to be presented by you. Maybe giraffes are just camels.
Yeah. I really like David Attenborough. Some camels go. There's an Indian breed called Kalai. It's the swim of hippos. Definitely
Yeah,
swim.
great.
Yeah. What balance they swim? Imagine that this is now. They go like this along the bottom of the river, and they can stay on the bottom.
They kill a lot of people, don't they? Hippos?
Yeah.
Hippos are hungry.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the giraffe as a prize. Babies. Do babies have an innate ability to swim?
No.
What's the audience think? Yes!
No, they drown.
Can I just say, do not do this, it is not true.
A lot of people say it though, don't they? A lot of people say, oh, you do suck them in. Because we're all evolved from fishes. When you're a baby, you still sort of think you're a fish, so it's all fine.
I think this Ivana album had lots of responsibility for this idea. It's not true. Babies do naturally hold their breath. Do not put them in the water. They do not have an innate ability. Giraffes will find swimming a pain in the neck, but elephants enjoy.
Yeah, there's that elephant complaint.
Yes.
Is that him?
Down shy.
Yeah. Well, actually, that is an elephant with a paintbrush.
There's an art gallery in Thailand that features a permanent display. This is actually about another sense of joy.
Is it pulling along?
It's pulling along, exactly right. It's pulling along a chariot. General's triumph qualities like quadriga. So quadriga?
Four-wheeled chariot, one elephant.
Okay, so it's 4 creatures pulling a quadriga. So usually it's 4 horses. Pull them through a triumphant gate of large waves of power. So Pompey the Great's first triumph, 79 BC, he thought, I'm going to overshadow everybody. I'm going to have 4 elephants to pull my quadriga to reflect the fact his victory was in Africa, not in Kent. What was the problem? Yeah, couldn't get through. He had the embarrassment of having to get down while they swapped the elephants over for horses.
We have one of those things, you know, when they say no lorries or certain.
The quadriga was it was kind of the Formula One car, if you like, against the Teddy, with the film Dead and Bird. Yeah, Formula Line. And quadriga racing is such a huge deal. Closest thing to a chariot race these days, there is one famous race that takes place. It's twice a year.
All right, but we're not going past the numbers.
It's in Siena. It is the Palio horse race in Siena.
Go through the town.
Very exciting. It's around the central square of this historic city. And it's very quadriga racing. It is de rigueur for the riders to hinder each other, to bribe the opponent,
my only job once a year on a boat in the town. I make a little dingy quiz. If you know his name's leaving. That was my Italian accent.
You're like the sort of the rogue fifth member of the Dolmio family.
Do you think the length of the whip is dependent on the weather?
It depends on how many sexy cows are
I dispute the fact that these bulls' penises would still display around. Severed and dry. At least your mind wouldn't.
Oh, no, David. What else we were?
Mine's barely functioning and it's still attached.
Okay, let's move on. We're along too many, and the only people who race around the square in this country are students. You know, like that's the Chariots of Fire, where they race around the square in the college, you know. Oh, come on, what it's quad. Okay.
Oh, clearly you fell from that.
Yeah. You felt like audience, you guys suck. It's a curiosity about Cambridge. All the quadrangles are called quads. Apart from the quad Downing College, which is a quad, and the race depicting the modern Chariots of Fire, which is around
Cambridge College.
it is quad.
The event they're depicting takes place at Trinity College, right? They filmed it at Eton.
They did film it at Eton, and a quadrangle at Eton is what I want to be on.
And these are the people who will one day be in charge of the government. Interesting.
So the real life race is against the clock. It's a 370 metre course. You have to get round at the time it takes the clock, which is straight 12. Depending on when it comes to round. That MPs has common staff to run across Westminster Bridge at noon during the time it took Big Ben to strike at 12. So that's 353 metres. That was done in less than 46 seconds. The very first person to do it was a Collins team member, Florence Hylock. She was aged 20. There she is. Wow. I love this picture because Big Ben has still got scaffolding. The speed required is it's only about 17 miles per hour as opposed to which is about 28 miles per hour. But she completed the feat with time to spare. She actually made it by the 10th time. I'm delighted to tell you that her son and grandson are with us in the news. So, Scott, it was astonishing because her 400-metre time wasn't far off the world record times.
Well, apparently, yeah, we don't really know quite where she started and where she finished, but she was particularly fast.
And did she just carry on working at the husband, or what happened?
She was an amateur runner, that's what she did in her spare time, and she met her future husband while running. But it was amateur days, so they don't really get money out of it. There have been prizes, canteens and coffee.
This has nothing to do with anything, but you and I have worked together.
Yes, I was a question setter in 15.
You set about 2,000 questions for me, you bastard. Okay. Very good start. Which do you fancy? Watered, raspberries, or pale? 4.5. What's your reckon?
Is it a family tree?
Sort of. Why do you say that?
Because it was 4 grandparents.
It's just a heraldry, is the truth of it. Heraldic of
So if you're going to create your own symbol,
Yeah.
do it in combination with your other half or with your family.
Well, I thought it was going to be something to do with torture. Like, would you like to be quartered with your grandparents? Like, horrible torture. Like Game of Thrones or something like that. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, you see.
Rosies.
That's the word I was. Not pay attention because you've literally got a giraffe between you. Stop learning. Oh, turn me on. Oh my god.
Watch something happen and go, that's going to be a gif.
So it's a heraldic conventional pottery whereby arms inherited from different ancestral lines are combined into a single.
This is the one where, like in
25 pence per quid. And that is to a level to which it was reduced by William IV in the 1830s.
We haven't had a pay rise since.
What's like your daily? Do you get up, have your coffee, check your emails, put on your arms? Like, what's your daily like?
Then do I put on all that kit?
Yeah.
No, it's a set about designing coats of arms, tracing family trees.
What's the weirdest thing you've had as a request?
It's a urinal on a 60, but a urinal in the sense of a doctor's flask. And footballs, I put one in Elton John's coat of arms.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is a real honour to have had the Clarence O. King of Arms here. Now, since we're talking about quads and quins, here's a question of multiple births. What's the best way to avoid paying income tax?
Don't work at Hungry.
It is in general the most fail-safe way of avoiding income tax. Avoid income.
Yeah. The way at present to achieve income tax exemption is to have quadruplets. I know. So, February 2019, Prime Minister Viktor Orban announced that women who have 4 or more children are permanently exempted from income tax. Why might he decide to do this?
I feel like there's probably a not particularly fun answer to this, that it's about getting more and more Hungarians.
It is
It
definitely
is.
about
They don't want
immigration.
immigrants.
They don't want
again,
immigrants,
and they're
yeah.
trying
It's
to
a-
repopulate
yeah.
with real Hungarians, isn't that the thing?
It's essentially encouraging breeding as an act of racism.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think if I moved to Hungary and managed to produce 4 kids,
He'd be thrilled.
he wouldn't be delighted.
So while we're on this subject, what was the Toronto Stork Derby?
Race with storks delivering babies.
Yes, yes. So this was a multi-birth contest in Ontario, 1936. It was described by the province's Premier Mitchell Hepburn as the most revolting and disgusting exhibition ever put on in a civilized country. What happened was there was a great guy, I think, called Charles Miller. He was a lawyer, he was a financier, he was a practical joker. He had nobody to leave his money to. And so he stated in his will that whoever could have the most babies in 10 years could have his money. Great. Yeah, it attracted a huge amount of interest because some of his investments made a lot of money. It was a huge fortune. His $100,000 estate turned into a $750,000 fortune by the end of the race, and mothers went crazy.
You could only have 10 max, though, surely, or like 10 and 1 on the way.
No, if you have multiples of your twins.
You could have
Yeah.
6 tuplets 10 times. You could have 60.
So that woman, who looks frankly exhausted, was one of the contestants who had 13 children. 5 women had 56 babies between them. We don't know how many of those were multiple births. And in the end, it was eventually split 4 ways with 2 consolation prizes for women who had been disqualified.
Women who've been disqualified.
What did they get disqualified for?
Maybe they'd adopted. That would be. I've adopted 700.
Some of the babies were illegitimate and so disqualified.
What?
Yeah, that's harsh.
He was a great prankster, Charles Miller. He left brewery shares to a prohibitionist campaigning group on condition that they actually ran the business. Racecourse shares to anti-gambling clerics. And he left a holiday home in Jamaica to 3 men who hated each other on condition they all lived in it together indefinitely. It's a great sitcom, doesn't it? The Toronto Stork Derby, the most disgusting exhibition ever.